Hey everybody, welcome to Equity Guru. I'm Chris Parry. It's been a while since I've done a 3-minute hit, but this one should stay on 3 minutes because there's not much to say here that hasn't been said before other than what the fuck is wrong with you people? The company I'm talking about today is Medexus Pharmaceuticals. MDP is the ticker symbol. It's on the big board in Toronto. Look, we talked about this thing under contract a year ago, and it did all the things that we said it was going to do. Yeah, it's a pharmaceutical company that has a bunch of different SKUs out there. What they do is they find novel cures for orphan diseases and symptoms and problems, and they go and license these medications that have been passed in other parts of the world and bring them into the North American market, where they have a good sales network that has been doing God's work. For about a year and a half now, sales increasing steadily, expenses decreasing steadily. There was some debt that they dealt with. That was good, de-risking things nicely. There's free-flowing cash. There's money in the bank. And there's a $1 million net loss at the end of the last quarter. Smaller loss than previous quarters. That loss is shrinking every quarter. And basically they're doing, what was it, $30.3 million US per quarter. So $120 million US a quarter. Let's say 150 being charitable in Canadian dollars. 150 million revenue a year in Canadian dollars. And this thing has a market cap of I can't even begin. $48 million Canadian. So it's trading at like 1/3 of its annual revenues. Yeah, it's making a loss, but it's $1 million a quarter loss. 1 million. And it's shrinking. And there's other medications in the pipeline. For me, this is such an undervalued stock. Look, we don't represent it anymore. There's no commercial arrangement. I really shouldn't be talking about it. My accountant's going to kick my ass for talking about a company for free. But listen, you guys might have bought into it when we did, a year and a half ago, when it had some delays on treosulfan FDA approval. Price was way down. We said, this is ridiculous. This thing doesn't make any sense at this price. Probably a good time to jump in. So a lot of you did, and we certainly did. And you know what happened? We got in at about $1.10, $1.20, and the thing went up to $3.45 in the last couple of months. Now, it's come right the way back down to $1.80 in the time since. Why is that? No good reason. There's no bad news at MDP. If anything, the company is further along than it had been. But you know what people don't like? You know what they don't like? They don't seem to like good management, because MDP, they're repaying their convertible debentures. They're raising money. They're doing the business of good management. But because it's a Canadian pharmaceutical outfit and people don't get Canadian pharma anymore, it is undervalued. Because, what, because $1 million a quarter in losses? Give me on $130 million US? Jesus, like, come on. This thing's trading at 1/3 of its annual revenues. Not profits, revenues. Like, mind blown. To me, at $1.83 today, it's down from $2 yesterday. I don't understand why this thing's getting absolutely pounded out. We are not getting any marketing budget out of it because they're trying to basically be responsible, right? They're not spending money on promo. They're not throwing money away. And yet, you guys, you keep selling the stock. Now, I get it. The markets are tough. And if you bought at $1 and you get a chance to sell at $2, that probably makes sense. And you probably look at a few days of downward trend and think, I don't want to be here through all of that. Maybe I'll jump back in. Fine. But long term, honestly, whether you're buying this thing at $1.80 or $2.20 or $3, long term, $120 million US revenue annually, trading at $48 million Canadian, makes no sense. Makes no sense. So MDP is the ticker symbol. I would say if it keeps sliding down the way it is, someone with a big hand is getting out. If they want to sell their stock to you on the cheap, by all means, engage. I think this thing, again, no commercial engagement here. I'm not getting paid to say this. I just look at the numbers and they don't make any sense. And I feel like there should be something there for a good company, run the right way, doing exactly what they said they were going to do, and getting so bloody close to profitability, it's not even funny. Anyway, that's my 3-minute, 7-minute, 12-minute hit on MDP. You might not see more about this company on our site for a while. Just we've got a lot of other clients we've got to cover. God bless. If you're buying in right now, I think you're making a good move. I'm certainly looking at it and thinking maybe it's time to allocate some more capital. MDP.